2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats while they last. If you're going to gamble, you better do it on a sure thing. Whether you're looking for the Diamond, Executive, VIP, or Premier experience, hotel accommodations are limited, so you better place your bets fast. And get ready for what is truly going to be an extraordinary experience. The 10X Growth Conference 2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats while they last. If you're going to gamble, you better do it on a sure thing. Whether you're looking for the Diamond, Executive, VIP, or Premier experience, hotel accommodations are limited, so you better place your bets fast. And get ready for what is truly going to be an extraordinary experience. The 10X Growth Conference 2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats while they last. If you're going to gamble, you better do it on a sure thing. Whether you're looking for the Diamond, Executive, VIP, or Premier experience, hotel accommodations are limited, so you better place your bets fast. And get ready for what is truly going to be an extraordinary experience. The 10X Growth Conference 2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats while they last. If you're going to gamble, you better do it on a sure thing. Whether you're looking for the Diamond, Executive, VIP, or Premier experience, hotel accommodations are limited, so you better place your bets fast. And get ready for what is truly going to be an extraordinary experience. The 10X Growth Conference 2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats while they last. If you're going to gamble, you better do it on a sure thing. Whether you're looking for the Diamond, Executive, VIP, or Premier experience, hotel accommodations are limited, so you better place your bets fast. And get ready for what is truly going to be an extraordinary experience. The 10X Growth Conference 2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats.
False start. So he's counting me off. He's like 5, 4. I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, 2. I'm like, all right. And now finally we're live. Nothing but professionalism today here at the Kern Lead Magnet Show. My name is Dr. Frank Kern, attorney at law, chief engineer with NASA, retired. Once again, Guinness Book of World Records record holder for the most fake titles ever used in the introduction of a show. And what we're going to be talking about today is what they don't tell you about selling things online. It sounds so hypey. It sounds like something like a news trailer, like you're in the middle of watching Law and Order, and then the commercial for the news comes on. They're like, what they don't tell you about selling things on the internet. Story at 11. But you know what? There is a lot of stuff people don't talk about selling things on the internet. So let's get right into it, because this whole selling things online is a bigger deal than we might realize. So I'm going to show you today how it actually works. Now, before we begin, let's see if I got the right number in my mind. Natalie's telepathically beaming it to me. If you need any help with your ads, if you need any help with your internet campaigns, give your main man Frank a holler at, 305-865-8668. Yes. Hot diggity, 305-865-8668. Only heard it 7 million times for whatever reason. If I'm off camera, I can remember it. When I'm on camera, I can't. 305-865-8668 if you need any help with your marketing on the internet or any other kind of marketing. I've actually been doing it for quite some time. Okay, so here's the deal about how things are really sold online. Doesn't matter if you're a brick and mortar business. Doesn't matter if you're selling pizzas, if you're e-com, if you're a coach or a consultant, you're an attorney. Every single customer has something called, ladies and gentlemen, a customer journey. How does Grant always write so well on this thing? It doesn't cooperate with me. I think that the board likes Grant better than me. Okay, so every customer's got a customer journey. Now, in typical marketing parlance, if that's the right word, man, you guys are missing some impressive acrobatics right now. Johnny's trying not to trip over the myriad of stuff we've got going on. In typical marketing parlance, Is that the right phrase, Natalie? Parlance? Is that a word? I think that's an entree. I'll have the parlance, please, but no chives. In typical marketing parlance, customer journey means what happens after the click, like once somebody opts into your funnel or whatever. In the case of our conversation, this means what happens before somebody ever buys something from you. Did you know, this is according to the all-knowing Bureau of Statistics. It's not really anything called the Bureau of Statistics. I was doing some research over the weekend. I was laid up, sick, had a cold, couldn't do anything. So I had to sit around, watched pretty much every episode of Black Mirror ever made, and then started researching stuff online. Turns out that the average consumer, it takes them 22 days to pull the trigger on buying something between the time they first see an ad, this is an eyeball, a little creepy looking, to the time they finally buy. It takes them 22 days to actually do something. That's on average. And some industries are longer, like automotive. I think it's something like 90 days, and financial services, it's even longer. But as a general rule, you're like, on average, 22 freaking days. Now that in and of itself is very, very eye-opening, because a lot of people, when they first start marketing and selling things online, they're like, okay, I placed an ad, it's been 30 minutes, am I rich yet? And they're like, it doesn't work. And I've been doing this so long and consulting people so long, and I have this group of people that I talk to every other week, and constantly I'm getting the same question, which would be something like, hey, I spent $100 and I drove, 50 visitors to my site and nobody bought anything. What do I do, right? Well, part of the culprit here is the stuff just takes time. It's on average, it's 22 days from the time someone first sees your stuff to the time they buy stuff. All right, but here's what's really eye-opening, and here's something that people don't talk about. On average, during this period of time, I'm going to draw my eyeball again here. It's just a creepy looking eyeball, but whatever. Here's what happens. They see on average, let me check my notes to make sure I'm giving you the right data, 32 touch points from the brand, AKA you, the person selling stuff. We'll refer to you, me, as the brand, okay? So the consumer sees an ad, 22-day period here, they're getting 32 touch points before they buy. Now, old school folks would be like, oh, okay, that means you're emailing them 32 times, right? No, that's not what that means. It means that on day number 1, they might see a Facebook post. All right, that's touch point number 1. Touch point number 2 is they might go to YouTube and watch a video. Touch point number 3 is they might read a tweet. It's just the weirdest phrase to me, tweeting. Doesn't it sound dumb? It still sounds dumb. I mean, I know it's like this important part of a marketing mix. By the way, speaking of tweeting, do you know that our boy Grant Cardone tweets on average 17.1 times per day? Because I analyzed what he did. By the way, if you want to participate in reverse engineering how Grant built a big-ass brand on social media, go to cardonekern.com/live. That's cardonekern.com/live. This coming Saturday, the 6th of July, at noon Eastern time, me and old GC are going to go live, teach you how to build a great big old brand on the social media. So anyway, touch point number 1, Facebook post. Touch point number 2, YouTube video. Touch point number 3, a tweet. Touch point number 4, a LinkedIn ad or article, right? And then they might see a Facebook ad. And then they might see an Instagram post. Then they might get an email. Then they might see a banner. And then they might just type the damn domain in and just literally go to any browser and type in yoursite.com and finally buy something. So over the course of 22 days, they're seeing on average 32 of this type of stuff in most cases. So what does this tell us? All right. Well, number 1, it tells us if you're expecting to put $1 in today and get rich by lunchtime tomorrow, you're listening to the wrong people that are setting those false expectations, right? Marketing and advertising is a long game, right? You want to get your money back out as soon as possible, obviously, but dang it, it takes some time. The average consumer, 22 days. The second thing it's telling us is we got to be everywhere, right? You can't just go and be like, okay, I'm going to run an ad Like, it doesn't work that way. If you look at what I do, if you look at what Grant does, you can't get rid of us. You know, I've had people that are like, dude, I see you so much everywhere on social media that like, I think I see you on the street now because I see you so much. And I'm like, I'm not sorry. That means the system is working, okay? It's supposed to be doing like that, right? So we got to be all over the place. And that's the second thing that you can take away from this. The third thing you can take away from this, and this is now we're going to get kind of heavy, right, is in the real world of internet marketing, you need to be multi-channel, multi-touch, and multi-channel. Oh, by the way, I got more stats for you. Let's see. 90% of people, in that little diagram I just gave you, 90% of people are cross-channel, meaning they see ads on multiple channels, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, the regular internet or whatever. 90% of people are seeing your stuff on multiple channels. Now we're defining a channel as like a Facebook or a YouTube's plural or an Instagram or whatever. Okay, but check this out. 67% of them see your stuff on different devices. So on day one, they might be looking at you on their laptop. Day two, they might be checking you out on their iPad. Day three, they might be looking at you on their iPhone while they're standing in line in Starbucks or driving, hopefully not. And then finally, they might buy from you on their iPad or on their Chromebook or whatever, 67%. So we've got this situation now where the public and the consumer, they get so much information that it takes them 22 days on average to gestate into that becoming a purchaser, and 32 different touch points using multiple devices. Everyone's got a smartphone, everybody's got a computer, most people have a tablet as well, right? So it's really just all over the board. And what this means is you got to be two things, all right? Omni-channel. You got to be on all the channels, and you got to be omnipresent. If you're not, you're losing out, right? If we know that behaviorally, hey, this is how it works, average person, 22 days, 32 touches, and you're just on Facebook, and you have like one ad, and that's it, you're leaving out the overwhelming majority of potential customers that you could have in your business, right? Other thing is, if it's taking them 22 days, buddy, you got to be in their face all the time, or else someone else will, right? So it's either you or your competitor. So you have to outdo your competitors. Now, thankfully, most people are horribly lazy and they don't really do anything. You know, once again, by the way, if you want to learn how to do this and really be omni-channel and omnipresent, specifically on social media, head on over to, man, look at that. It just showed right up on the screen there. Head on over to CardoneKern.com/live. Me and a fellow that you might know, his name's Grant Cardone. He's a delightful man, young man in his early 30s. He and I are going to be teaching you how to grow a great big old brand on social media while selling stuff at the same time. That's CardoneKern.com/live. We're teaching that live this Saturday, July 6th. If you miss it, of course you can have the recordings. Mama didn't raise no dummy. We know you're going to have the recordings. We're going to give you the recordings and $9,991 worth of bonuses when you enroll. I know. Explain it to them. Ain't that something? Now, Natalie, I heard the phone ringing.
You do have a phone.
Well, tough. Okay, so I just wanted to be a peckerhead, and no, I'll go ahead and take the call, assuming it's an easy question. All right.
Jordan in New York.
Jordan in New York. What's happening?
Oh my goodness, is this Crazy Frank Kern?
No, this is Dr. Frank Kern, the one with all the fake credentials.
Crazy Frank Kern, this is Crazy J.
What's up, man?
Crazy J Real Estate. You know, we're such good real estate agents, we're giving the houses away pretty much.
Dude, please tell me that you actually are Crazy J Real Estate. Is that real? Is that your actual branding?
No, I wish I could though.
That would be so great.
It would be great.
I would do the voiceovers for you for free.
There you go.
What's your question, man? What you want?
I have a question for you. So I run, I am multi-platform on my advertising.
Mm-hmm.
We do Facebook, we do the Google, we do the YouTube, we do all that good stuff. But, you know, as you may, I'm sure you probably heard, Facebook is getting rid of some specific targeting for their advertising for people that target, you know, in housing, for housing advertisements, and that directly affects my Facebook advertising. So I have my ideal customer honed in on Facebook. I know what, their interests are, range of, who I generally resonate with. And I want to know, when all this targeting goes away on Facebook for me, even though I am multi-platform, Facebook's a lot of bread and butter for me. So how do I stay in touch with my ideal client even though Facebook is taking away?
You use good old-fashioned intent-based branding, and you use other channels as well. So I'll address both of those things. Intent-based branding works like this. Instead of going to a tiny, tiny little narrow market of dudes who live in New York who are between 20 and 39 who are unmarried and they're paying a lot of money for rent or whatever, we can't do that anymore. So now we just have to go with people who live in New York who are between a certain age and gender or whatever. And you show those guys content. And the content, I like video best. The content basically calls out to them. It makes it to where it would only be logical for someone to watch it if they were your perfect customer. So I don't really know much about real estate and all of that, so I'll just kind of come up with a different example. Let's say we're selling dog training, and we want to go to the entire world, and we want to create content that's only magnetic to our perfect person. And our perfect person is going to be someone who owns an older dog, and the older dog has now become incontinent for some reason. I'm totally just making this up, right? But I'm trying to get kind of weird and random just to show you that this applies to weird and random stuff as well as mass market. So the content might say something like, hi, if you've got a dog and you really love your dog, but the dog has gotten older, and as a result of it becoming older, it's now incontinent, here are 5 ways you can help clean your rug of the stains or whatever. Now the logic here is the only person who would watch that thing is going to be the person who you want the most, someone who actually has an old and incontinent dog. So now once they've watched it, and we can set it to where you're tracking it, actually Facebook tracks it, whether they watch 3 seconds, 10%, 10 seconds, all the way up to 100%. We track all of that kind of stuff. And if someone engages with it at any level, we consider those people to be part of a now warm audience. And this is now your true target market. And we start showing those dudes more content. And we also show them classic direct response ads. These are the ads that have the pictures and tell them what to do and all of that kind of stuff. So the content originally, it now becomes the filter, right? So the people, they ain't gonna watch it unless they're your ideal people. So you really, really make it very specific to your ideal person. Your second thing you wanna do besides this strategy is you wanna do programmatic. And we do a lot of this in the agency, specifically with brick and mortar people. Who that coming in my studio?
Who's that?
Who that is? Is that Grant Cardone coming in here? Is he causing problems? Man.
You got a blank whiteboard.
I'm drawing on the white. Man, he's been waiting for me to erase it. Y'all about to see the wrestling match happen. All right, so here's what programmatic means. All right, programmatic is essentially the rest of the internet. And what you can do, my good man, is you can do something called list retargeting. I'm just going to say list ret there because this is easier. You can go out and you can buy the MLS list, for example, and you can upload it into a system, a programmatic system, and you can start showing those people banners. You can show them videos. You can even show them ads on their television. Programmatic also will allow you to do search retargeting. So if they go to Google, for example, and they search for, I don't know, cheap apartment in New York City or whatever, or if they go to Google and they search for cheap apartment, but they're within a certain geographic area, you can start showing them banners and videos and retargeting them. And that is probably a better play for most businesses like yours than social media in and of itself is, because it's pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying the content needs to be more, intentional towards who I'm targeting, since
totally
I won't have that option.
Zero attention paid to the programmatic answer, by the way. Like, the programmatic A is the better thing to do. But yes, going back to intent-based branding, the content, you make it specifically for that perfect person, but you show it to like a broader audience because you can't filter anymore because they're taking stuff away, with the logic being, all right, only the perfect person is going to watch this, and then you retarget the people who watch it. So it becomes your filtration device. And that's how intent-based branding works. Yeah, all right. Put that in your pipe and smoke it up there in New York with the real estate.
Crazy Frank Kern, thank you so
right,
much.
Crazy Joe. Man, I wish it was really called Crazy Joe's. That'd be so great. I would totally, if anyone has crazy in their business, okay, I'll make this offer to you. It's going to cost you 11 cents, okay? One-time offer. If your business has the word crazy in it, I will do the voiceover for some obnoxious redneck style commercial for you for free because it'll be hilarious. But I get to like really be obnoxious in it. And the 11 cents, it has to be paid in full. No installment plans are available on this. Okay, so back to the 22-day user journey, right? I'll tell you a story. Tell me if you can relate to this. Most of us are in a situation that within reason, we can buy whatever we want, right? I mean, we couldn't go buy the Empire State Building or whatever, but like most people, if you want something, you can go get it, right? So I had this thing happen where I was at the Apple store. I'm at the Apple store one day. I'm actually at the Apple store on New Year's Eve, right? And I'm like, I gotta spend a bunch of money so I can write off this damn equipment so I can hopefully pay less taxes. So I'm standing around. Everyone else had the same idea. I never ended up buying anything, by the way, because no one would take my damn money. Apple, get it together. I'm standing around, I start looking at the new iPad. I'm like, this is exactly like the current iPad I have, except it looks slightly different and it says new on the box, gotta have one, right? I mean, have you noticed it's the same freaking iPad? But anyway, so I go and I make up my mind, I gotta get one of these iPads. I go home and start looking at iPad reviews, looking at like comparing, like, should I get the bigger one? Should I get the little one? I didn't get a freaking iPad until damn April of this year. And it was when a client actually gave me one as a gift that I finally got one. And we all do this. Do it with cars, do it with everything, right? So what do we do, okay? What's the cost of action or the course of action? Thing number one, I'm gonna give you some steps to follow in terms of how to like really crush it in this environment where we know 32 touches in 22 days. Holy shit, we gotta be everywhere. Number one, consistency of offer, all right? So you need to be making your offer all the time. Right? So when you're watching this show, you're either hearing me say, hey, you want to learn how to build a big old brand on the social medias, go to CardoneKern.com/live, and me and old Grant Cardone will show you, assuming he survives the death match, which will ensue after our show for him messing with me about the blank whiteboard. He's not around, is he? He's actually in pretty good shape. I don't think I could take him. I work out with him sometimes. He's in like superhuman physical condition. It's really embarrassing to me because he's a lot older than me. But he's still in better shape. All right, so that's thing number one. Thing number two, you want to do a lot of retargeting. Okay, retargeting is huge. We have this kind of rule that we try to follow in our agency at CardoneKern.com, and that is, hey, let's only show ads to people who already want your stuff. So if they went and clicked on your site or interacted with your posts on social, or clicked on an ad, that's a behavioral indicator that they're pretty freaking interested. It's worth following up with them over that 22-day period to give them multiple touch points, show them more ads. So you want to really, really have a heavy emphasis on retargeting. All right, thing number three is have an easy to remember domain name. Now this sounds trivial, but this is a shocker. Across the board, for everything that I build promotions for, the number one source of traffic for us, type in. You got to do it like that. Type in. That means someone is literally, they see the ad 7 billion times. They might hear me say CardoneKern.com on the podcasts or whatever, and then they go and they type in CardoneKern.com. Number one source of traffic. It's been number one source of traffic for Cardone Kern. It's been number one source of traffic for our branding class. It's been number one source of traffic for my book, for like every test I've ever done it for. So you always want to be saying or showing your domain name, and it needs to be easy to remember, right? So don't make it like All-Star Carpet Cleaning 2047 Secrets of Ohio.biz. Like that's not gonna work. Make it really, really simple, okay? Huge one to do. Okay, step number next is you want to do cross-channel content. Next is a step, and next is also a number, all right? You want to do cross-channel content. Should I take the call or go into cross-channel content? You're telling me to take the call? Look, you got to do what Natalie says, all right? She's OG Natalie. Those OG strains will knock you out, so they say. What? I can't believe you said that on camera, Natalie.
I got Jacob in Ohio.
We got Natalie, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
We
Hey,
made
how's
her
it
laugh.
going, Frank?
What's happening, man?
Not a whole lot. Hey, I just had a question.
Okay, is it easy?
I have this website that I built called usourcemedia.com.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it's like a YouTube content creator catalog. And the reason why I'm calling is because I was wondering if your guys' idea was the same as mine, or am I off the wrong page?
Well, I don't understand the question. Sorry, I just want to have something on the thing so Grant doesn't get mad. There we go. Okay, so you got a site, you're aggregating content there, and then what's the question?
Yeah, basically you click on these people's profiles and it shows like their Instagram, their Facebook, where people can buy their products, merchandising, and all of that. And it's at usourcemedia.com.
Okay.
And I was wondering if that is similar to what you're talking about.
Well, what are you selling, and why would someone go to the site? So I'm still.
Well, they're going to go to the site because it's totally free. The idea that I had in mind is get the AdSense and build a YouTube channel that's massive, and then work from there. But I got to start from ground zero because I'm trying to grow and get a lot of subscribers that way. That way, I can, be like Cardone and all these other people, and try to help people out as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. So the idea is you have a site, it aggregates all this content, and you're hoping that you'll be able to get a lot of subscribers and then sell them something later.
Yeah.
Yeah, very altruistic, sounds good on paper until you factor in the cost of time and money to get the subscribers. So in terms of growing a business in any capacity, especially online, you got two paths. You can take a long time and not spend any money on ads, or you can compress the time and spend money on ads, knowing full well, by the way, that spending money on ads can at first be a great big pain in the butt. So if there's nothing to sell them right now, then we're taking the spend money on ads thing completely out of the equation because you're just throwing money around, right? And what's the point of that?
Yeah, but I can get all these big content creators to shout me out and then just start like a mass, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so
like a mass global thing all over YouTube, and then it just blow up. You know
this episode will probably get, what do we get, what are the downloads every month? The thing, like 1 million or something? Not per episode, but what, you guys know per episode podcast?
Per episode per day is probably like 20,000 a day.
Yeah, so within 30 days, this episode will get downloaded by 20,000 people. And we've just said your website 2 or 3 times. And what's the site again?
usourcemedia.com.
Okay, so now we just said it again very clearly. Here's what's going to happen as a result of this. Not much. So shout-outs really aren't going to do much for you. You need to have an offer, and you need to have a sales process to turn somebody into a customer, and then you need to have marketing that brings people into that sales process. So content for the sake of content with no real strategy behind it, it's altruistic, it's cool to do. You're probably going to help some people, but to monetize is going to be very, very difficult. So you got to find something to sell.
I've just been, throughout the years, man, I've just been struggling trying to find that thing for me, and I've been a filmmaker for a long time. And I had 2 little girls, and I looked them in the eye, and I said, listen, Justin, I said, I'm going to be successful. I don't care what it takes. I'll beat the shit out of somebody just to get it. That's just my mentality.
Right.
But, realistically, we all live in a world where everybody's just thinking on low terms. Everybody tells me I'm crazy, I'm nuts. I'm like, I'm not crazy, I'm not nuts. I got to keep doing this. So I don't care, I'm not stopping.
Yeah, well, just make an offer, dude. So if you're good at making films, people are very, very passionate about learning video editing and all that kind of stuff. And there's all kinds of editing software that's sold. There's all kinds of editing tutorials that's sold. I got a program that sells for 2 payments of $97. It's all about how to make videos that sell. So take that knowledge and sell it. But something must be sold, my good man. Or else it's just content for the sake of content, and it's going to be hard to make any money. So you got to have you an offer. So get you an offer. Okay, what do you say we keep on moving down the line, right? Because I got more stuff to share with you. Okay, so thing number next, just want you guys all to take note here. It was not a blank whiteboard, all right? I love messing with him. Is you want to be cross-channel, okay? So you want to be at least on your Facebooks. You want to be at least on your YouTubes. You want to be at least on your Instagram. And you want to be on your Instagram TV. Now here's what we do over here in the glorious, glittering world of Cardone Kern. It is both glorious and glittering, okay? We'll do a show like this one, and while we're shooting this, we're streaming this thing simultaneously to the Facebooks and the YouTubes. Once this thing is over, we're going to take the video footage, we're going to spruce it up a little bit. We're also going to put it on the Instagram TV. Then we're going to take little snippets out of it that are 60 seconds or less, and we're going to put those on the regular Instagram newsfeed, therefore allowing us to be cross-channel from one piece of content. Furthermore, this thing will also be turned into a podcast. Look, if you're not doing this stuff, you're missing out. It's just the fact of life. Average consumer, time to gestation from thinking about it to buying it, 22 days, 32 touches. We can't do that just with a Facebook ad. You can't do it with just an email list. I mean, you can sell stuff, but you're going to sell a lot more stuff if you embrace this reality that we're now multi-device, multi-channel, multi-touch, multi-day, multi-week cycle of buying behavior. All right? So the next thing is, and we're almost to the conclusion of today's broadcast, is this. You always want to make offers. All right? AMO. Always make offers. The amount of money that you get is going to be in direct proportion to the amount of offers you make to the marketplace. Like that dude I was just talking to. Probably a lot of people like that guy. He's got all these free content out there. He's probably helping a lot of people. Not making any offers. No offers means no money. Got to make offers. More offers you make, the more money you make. So in every piece of content you put out there, you always want to make the offer, even if it's something simple. Right? So like I've hammered our webinar pretty hard today. So I'll give you the scripting for that, right? So we're in the middle of making content and like, hey, by the way, if you really like this kind of stuff and you're serious about building a big brand, go to CardoneKern.com/live. Me and good old Grant Cardone will show you how to do it live on Saturday, July 6th. And if you miss it, of course, you can have the recordings. That's a nice, easy, simple way to do it. I'll do it again for our agency, right? Just to give you an idea of how simple it is to interject an offer into some content. So we're talking yada, yada, yada. You should always make offers. And by the way, if you would like our agency to get your offers in front of more people for you so you don't have to mess with it, you can focus on doing what you do best, just go to CardoneKern.com, read the little letter you see there, and if you like what you see, fill in the form and we'll set up a time to talk. Boom. Those were offers. So I'm not saying you got to get on there and just pitch like crazy and be like, if you don't buy my stuff, it's the end of the world. You're all going to die. You just say like, hey, I got this thing. Here's how to get it. Onward with the content. We need to do this all the time. All the time. Not the cell phone network. All the time. Here. ADT. All the time. That's also a home security network. Damn it. Just trying to come up with something original. Can't come up with nothing original. Can't even did it. Okay, so the final one, the final step is I want you to go ham. Just go ham. Make content like a mofo. Our main man Grant, 17.1. I don't know what the 0.1 is, but I got this from the analytics software. 17.1 Twitter tweets. That's redundant there, isn't it? 17.1 tweets per day, 6.6 Facebook posts per day, 1.9 Instagram posts per day, not including the Instagram stories, which is like 1 million Instagram stories every day. A little more than 1 YouTube video per day. I guess they aggregate this by month. I wasn't able to pull the LinkedIn data for you. A podcast every freaking day. Every day, a different podcast. Just so happens that he does all of that and he's got, what do you know, one of these damn things, but it's real. I mean, I've never been invited on it, so I don't know, just saying. I mean, I like to fly. I like to travel, We go to the same destinations, Grant, geez. If I had a plane, I'd invite you on it, just at least hang out. Like, hey, you want to just sit around on the plane and just sit there in the Miami sun on a tarmac and sweat to death on the plane, But anyway, I mean, that's why this dude makes so much damn money, because he goes ham all the time. So you really want to be doing this all the time, right? And so the big takeaway, if anything, really the secret takeaway from this, the magic word in all of this stuff is if we know that from day number 1, when they first see your ad or your post or whatever, let's just say an ad, to day number 22, they got to see you 32 times. The biggest strategy here is retargeting. That's where you should really start focusing, because we know if someone's going to interact with one of these things, they're interested, right? If they're clicking the ad, if they're engaging in the post, if they're watching the video on YouTube, all your platforms will measure this stuff for you and just put people into a retargeting audience. That's your big takeaway. go ham on the retargeting, go ham on making that content, and make a whole bunch of offers. Go what? Ham up in here. All right, this concludes today's episode. Don't forget to join me and old GC Saturday, July the 6th at 12 noon Eastern time. Look, I know you're going to party on 4th of July. I'm not. I never party, obviously, but you guys go ahead and party for me. You'll be okay by the 6th of July. Come hang out with me and GC. We'll show you how to build a great big old brand on the social media while selling things at the same time. Ain't no point in doing it if you're not going to sell anything. All right, so we'll show you how to do it while selling stuff at the same time. If you can't make it live, you can get the recordings. $9,991 in bonuses, yours instantly. Instant access to this stuff when you enroll right now. Go to cardonekern.com/live. My name is Dr. Frank Kern, attorney at law, chief engineer at NASA. None of those titles are real. I'll see you on the next episode. Take it easy.
If you're going to gamble, you better do it on a sure thing. Whether you're looking for the diamond, executive, VIP, or premier experience, hotel accommodations are limited, so you better place your bets fast. And get ready for what is truly going to be an extraordinary experience. The 10X Growth Conference 2020 in Las Vegas. Reserve your seats while they last. If you're going to gamble,